first cold blast of the season here. We've been talking about it all morning. NYCHA is already feeling the heat for not doing enough to protect its residents. So City Council Speaker Corey Johnson, he blasted NYCHA on Twitter, and he joins us this morning about this. So good morning to you. So NYCHA delayed planned heat outages because of the cold. Now we're talking about heat outages because they turn it off while they fix it. But why did they wait until now to do this?
I mean, everything, sadly, with NYCHA is like Groundhog Day, where the same sad scene and movie happens over and over and over again. And in this instance, they could have done these planned outages when it was warmer weather. They could have done it in the summer when you didn't need heat. They could have done it in the fall when the weather was more temperate. And instead, now these residents are stuck with heat outages on the coldest day of the fall going into the winter. It doesn't make any sense. And the worst news of this is that so much of the money that was appropriated to actually fix the boilers, fix the heating systems, it looks like that money is not going to get spent, and those upgrades are not going to happen for years now. And so it is a mess for NYCHA residents. They shouldn't have to live this way.
So Lincoln House is waking up this morning without heat. NYCHA did act quickly and sent extra crews there with those transportable boilers to get them the heat they deserve. What is your message for Greg Russ, who is the NYCHA chairman right now, and is he doing an acceptable job heading into winter?
Well, he's brand new, and I think that winter's going to be his big first test of what happens with these outages. Now, last winter, there were fewer outages in NYCHA than the winter before, so there was an improvement last year from the previous year, but we have to see how NYCHA performs, and this was not a good test for them, which is they could have planned these outages before the cold weather hit, and so I think it's a difficult moment for him and for NYCHA.
You know, a big talker for our viewers has been this incident in the subway regarding the churro vendors. 2 arrests in the past week. These quality of life crimes being tackled in the subway. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, you know, I think that the decision to hire 500 police officers inside of the subways for the MTA was not a wise decision. Most major subway crimes are down. 6 million people take the subway every single day. There are only 5 major crimes a day out of 6 million people who are in the subways. A better use of that money is to improve service and to go into what the subways actually need. And so I think you put that money, if you want to help homeless people, into clinicians, into mental health professionals, not into cops. The incident with the woman who was selling the churros at Broadway Junction, I think for many New Yorkers showed how disproportionate this level of policing is. Certain communities already feel over-policed. Now, maybe she shouldn't have been on the platform, but the appropriate measure is not to place her in handcuffs and be surrounded by 3 police officers in uniform, an additional undercover officer.
She did receive 10 summonses. So moving forward, you know, the issue has been the cap of these permits in New York City. She couldn't get one. There's about 2,800 permits since 1983. Can the city council step in and say, we need to raise this to give more people opportunities?
Yes, and we're looking at it. The last time the cap was increased was when Mayor Koch was mayor, which shows how long ago it was. So we're looking into that issue. Councilmember Margaret Chin has a bill to increase the number of vendors in New York City. We want to make sure it's done in the right way.
And thoughts about the police commissioner choice to go with Dermot Shea. Your thoughts about that pick?
I think Dermot Shea is a good guy. I met with him the day after he was announced as commissioner, so that was good. I do understand the disappointment, though. I think Ben Tucker has had a great career, and for a lot of people in color in New York City, I understand why it is disappointing and difficult to pass over Ben Tucker. I don't know what decision-making process went into that, but it's hard for a lot of people to swallow.
As mayor, would you pick a person of color?
You know, it's hard to speculate at this point. It's one of the most important decisions a mayor makes, but I think it is really important, especially when you have some people of color who are qualified, like Ben Tucker, like Rodney Harrison. Those are folks that I think should have gotten more consideration.